You want to know what I think? The reason you're still stuck on her isn't because she was, in quotes, the one. It's because you've made her the center of your universe, and now that she's gone, you feel like there's nothing left. That sounds harsh, but it's the truth most men never want to admit. We live in a world where men are constantly told to chase love like it's oxygen, to pour everything into a woman, and then act surprised when she leaves. The reality? If you can't walk away from what you love, you don't own it. It owns you. Think about that for a second. You say you want freedom, peace, and happiness, yet you hand over the keys to your emotions to someone else. She doesn't even have to try. One text from her can ruin your entire week. That isn't love. That's slavery. And no man who respects himself should live that way. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Letting go is not about her. It's about you. It's about whether you're strong enough to accept that people change, feelings fade, and no one is obligated to stay in your life forever. The ancient Stoics understood this centuries ago. They believed that clinging to what you cannot control is the root of all suffering. And let's face it, you cannot control her. You cannot force love, loyalty, or attention. The only thing you can control is how you respond. So, this isn't just about moving on from a woman. It's about becoming the kind of man who cannot be broken by loss, rejection, or betrayal. If you learn that, then losing her won't destroy you. In fact, it might be the very thing that sets you free. Men grow up hearing the lie that love conquers all. Movies, music, and society sell us this fantasy that as long as you love her, the relationship will survive. But here's the cold truth. Love alone doesn't guarantee anything. You can love a woman with your whole heart, and she can still walk away. You can sacrifice, beg, and stay loyal, and she can still choose someone else. Why? Because attraction, respect, and compatibility matter more than love. A woman can love you, but not respect you. She can love you, but still find you weak. She can love you, but feel bored or uninspired by your presence. And once respect is gone, love fades quickly. This is why Stoicism teaches men not to attach their happiness to feelings they can't control. Love is an emotion, and emotions are unstable. What you need is self-control, discipline, and purpose. Those are things no one can take from you. If your only strategy is, I love her, so she'll stay, you're already setting yourself up for heartbreak. Instead, focus on being a man who doesn't rely on love to keep someone around. Be the kind of man who is respected because of his strength, independence, and vision, not pitied because of his neediness. Love should be a bonus in your life, not the foundation. The foundation must be your own character, your own mission, your own ability to stand strong even when she isn't there. Imagine this. You give a woman your everything: time, money, loyalty, affection. You love her more than you love yourself, but one day she tells you she's not happy anymore. At that moment, your love doesn't save you. Your begging doesn't save you. Only your strength to let go does. That's why love is never enough. Respect and self-mastery must come first. 2. Attachment is your enemy. The biggest trap men fall into after loving a woman is attachment. Love is natural, but attachment is dangerous. Love says, I care about you. Attachment says, I can't live without you. And the second you believe you can't live without someone, you hand over your freedom. You chain your happiness to her moods, her choices, and her presence. That's not strength. That's weakness disguised as devotion. The Stoics were very clear. Suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our attachment to them. A breakup doesn't hurt because she left. It hurts because you refuse to let go of the version of life you built around her. You're clinging to what no longer exists, like holding a rope that's cutting into your hands but still refusing to release it. Attachment also creates fear. You're scared she'll leave, scared she'll lose interest, scared you'll never find anyone else. That fear makes you act needy, insecure, and desperate. And ironically, those are the very behaviors that push her away. When you're attached, you lose perspective. You ignore red flags, you accept disrespect, you tolerate things that crush your dignity just because you're terrified of being alone. But here's the reality. No matter how much you cling, people can still walk away. The tighter you hold, the quicker they slip through your fingers. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting your happiness depend on someone else. It's the ability to love fully, but remain free. When you detach, you enjoy what you have while it lasts, but you don't collapse when it ends. That's real power. Imagine you're holding a glass of water. At first it's light, but hold it for hours, and your arm starts to shake, the pain becomes unbearable, and you can't take it anymore. That's what attachment is. The longer you hold on, the more it destroys you. The solution isn't to hold tighter. The solution is to let go. 3. She was never yours. One of the hardest pills for men to swallow is this. She was never really yours. Not in the way you think. You don't own her time, her loyalty, or her love. At best, you borrow them for as long as she chooses to give them. You see, many men believe that because they invested years, sacrificed money, or gave everything to a woman, it means she's theirs forever. But people are not possessions. She belongs only to herself. The moment her feelings change, the moment her priorities shift, she can walk away. And you can't do a thing about it. That's not betrayal of ownership. That's just reality. Think about it. Every time she smiled at you, every time she picked up your call, every time she chose to be with you, it was a choice, not a debt. She didn't owe you that. And if she stops choosing you tomorrow, it's not because she took something from you. It's because she's exercising the same freedom she always had. Relating to this truth hurts at first, but it's liberating. When you realize she was never yours to control, you stop obsessing over why she left. You stop asking, how could she do this after everything I gave? Instead, you accept that her choices are hers, and your strength lies in how you respond. Once you embrace this mindset, you stop clinging, you stop chasing, you start living like a man who knows nothing external is guaranteed, and that's when you finally become free. 4. Control what you can, ignore what you can't. Most men waste years of their lives fighting battles they can never win. You can't control if she stops loving you. You can't control if she meets someone else. You can't control if she wakes up one morning and decides she's done. Yet so many men drive themselves insane trying to change what's outside their power. The Stoics had a simple rule. Focus only on what you can control. And here's the reality. You can control your mindset, your actions, your discipline, your growth. That's it. Everything else, out of your hands. But what do most men do after a breakup? They stalk her social media, hoping to decode her every move. They replay every conversation, trying to figure out what they could have said differently. They beg, plead, or bargain, thinking if they just do the right thing, she'll come back. All of that energy is wasted because it's focused on things they cannot control. The moment you shift your focus inward, everything changes. You stop asking, why did she leave? And start asking, how do I rebuild myself stronger? You stop worrying about her new life and start building yours. Freedom begins when you accept this truth. She is outside your control, but you are not. Your growth, your strength, your next chapter, that belongs entirely to you. That's where your power lies, and that's where your energy should stay. 5. Pain is a teacher, not a prison. Too many men treat heartbreak like a death sentence. They sit in their rooms for months, replaying memories, drowning themselves in self-pity, and acting like life ended the moment she walked out. Let's be real. That's weakness. Pain isn't meant to paralyze you. It's meant to wake you up. If you're still broken years after she left, it's not because of her. It's because you refuse to learn the lesson. Pain shows you where you were too dependent, too careless, or too blind. It exposes your weaknesses so you can fix them. But instead of facing that truth, most men just complain, blame women, or stay bitter. That's not growth. That's self-destruction. You have to understand this. Suffering is unavoidable, but staying stuck in it is a choice. Every man who has ever become strong was shaped by pain. The Stoics didn't run from suffering, they used it as fuel. They understood that what hurts you can also harden you. So if you're hurting, stop asking, "Why me?" Start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" Did you lose yourself in her? Did you neglect your mission? Did you forget that nothing external is guaranteed? Learn the lesson, and the pain will fade. Ignore it, and you'll keep suffering the same way with the next woman, and the one after that. Wake up. Pain is not your prison. It's your professor. And only men who learn from it ever become unbreakable. 6. Rejection is redirection. Most men treat rejection like the end of the world. She says, "I don't want you anymore," and suddenly you act like life has collapsed. But here's the truth. Rejection isn't the end. It's a redirection. It's life pulling you away from what isn't meant for you and pushing you toward what could actually build you. Think about it. How many times have you looked back at someone you thought you couldn't live without, only to realize later that losing her was the best thing that ever happened to you? At the time, it feels unbearable. But months, maybe years later, you see it clearly. You dodged a bullet. The problem is, most men don't have the patience or perspective to see this. Instead of moving forward, they beg, they cry, they chase. They humiliate themselves trying to force something that already died. That isn't love, that's desperation. And desperation kills respect. Rejection is life's way of saving you from wasting more time on someone who doesn't value you. It's not about proving her wrong or making her regret it. It's about realizing your worth doesn't depend on her approval in the first place. When a door closes, it's not punishment. It's direction. It's a sign that your growth, your mission, your future lies somewhere else. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop suffering. So remember this. Rejection doesn't break you. It repositions you, but only if you're wise enough to see it. 7. Build yourself, not her image. Too many men waste their best years building a woman's image instead of building themselves. You put her on a pedestal, make her your motivation, your obsession, your reason for waking up in the morning, and then you wonder why you collapse when she leaves. Brother, that's not love. That's self-abandonment. A woman should never be your mission. She can be part of your journey, yes, but the moment she becomes your whole purpose, you've already lost yourself. That's why so many men feel empty after a breakup, because they built their lives around someone else instead of around their own growth. Here's the truth. Women are drawn to men who have vision, discipline, and a life they're proud of, not men who orbit around them like lost satellites. When you focus on building yourself, your body, your finances, your skills, your mindset, you don't just become harder to replace, you also stop fearing loss. Why? Because you know your value isn't tied to her presence. Stop chasing her image of you. Stop living for her approval. Build the man you see in the mirror. When you do that, you don't just recover from heartbreak. you elevate beyond it. She may come, she may go, but you'll remain unshaken because your foundation is you, not her. Build yourself first. Everything else, including women, will naturally follow. Here's one truth no one wants to say out loud. Most men don't struggle because women are complicated. Most men struggle because they refuse to build themselves. You keep blaming her for leaving, when in reality, she just exposed the cracks in your foundation. And here's the controversial part. If you lost her and it shattered you, maybe you were never the strong man you thought you were. Let that sink in. This isn't about hating women. It's about understanding that no woman should ever be the center of your existence. Love her? Yes. Care for her? Yes. But never lose yourself in her. Because the second you do, you've already lost. I want you to think about that. And also share your own story in the comments. Tell me, have you ever held on too tightly and ended up broken? Or maybe you learned to let go and became stronger because of it. I'll read through every comment, and I might even reach out. Remember, this channel isn't just me talking. We're here to connect and also learn from each other's experiences. And listen, if you thought this was raw, wait until the next video, where I reveal why being too nice is actually destroying your chances with women. So click on that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so you would be the first to know when it's out. I'll see you then.